Daddy, and he's going to say a few words for you. Tuffy, he's going to say a couple words for you too. background. Here them having a little fight. Teddy and Tuffy. And Ginger supervising. Here's Ginger playing. There's Teddy and Tuffy again. Ginger, oops, gesundheit. Ginger's going at it again, so are Teddy and Tuffy. Get something, Ginger. August 22nd and 23rd, 1977. Tuffy. We were so excited about Ginger having puppies. We couldn't wait till the day arrived, the day that the two cutest pups ever, except for Ginger of course, would be born. It was all too good to be true. Our little butt Ginger expecting pups. Most of us guessed she would have about 4 puppies. We never dreamed she'd only have 2. We got such a kick out of feeling the puppies kick inside of Ginger. The big day arrived, but we didn't know it at the time. My mom kind of thought they would be coming soon when she saw Ginger's whole back moving. She called the vet and they told her it was probably the big day. She took off work. I thought she was nuts because I didn't really think they would come. That night about 7, my mom called me in the house. Ginger was going crazy. She went to every room, going under beds, chairs, etc. We put her in the bathroom in her fixed little house and waited. Debbie came over to supervise. After throwing up about 4 times and pushing, the first pup arrived. He plopped out and Ginger started working. We couldn't believe the size of him. He looked like a large turd. About 5 minutes later, the pup started nursing. Approximately an hour later, the second arrived. He went through the same routine. The first one born was bigger. We all sat and just looked at them for an hour and waited for more. But to our disappointment, there was no more. And more disappointment came when we found out they were both boys, especially to me. As they grew, we got to love them more and more. They had to get their tails chopped off and sewn back up. We looked forward to the day when their eyes would open and start walking. The day arrived soon. First Tuffy and 2 days later Teddy. That was when they started to look different. Teddy started getting bigger, fatter, and fuzzier. They got to be so playful. I remember the mornings I wanted to sleep, I would hear them crying at 8 in the morning or earlier. Especially Tuffy. Tuffy had a louder bark and I could hear him more. I would get up and let them out and then have to sit and watch them play. We had to take them in for the puppy shots. They both screamed when they got it, but we're good. I never really thought of the day we would have to get rid of them. Lots of people thought of buying them. One day my mom came home from work and said we were getting rid of one Monday. That day was Friday. How I dreaded that day. I loved both the pups so much I couldn't decide which one to get rid of. But the day came and we had to decide. Tuffy was a decision. Not really, because we all loved them both. He seemed to like the people, but I know that right now he's crying and wanting his mother and brother. He'll probably get used to it, but I know I won't. I hope so bad that things won't work out and we'll get Tuffy back. I don't think we will, though, because Tuffy is so lovable, who would want to give him up like we had to? I sure hope so, though. Ginger looks for you, Tuffy, and she misses you. Even Teddy does. I remember the way you and Teddy used to play and fight together. How you would chase Ginger or me, or anybody. The way you climbed up the playpen when you wanted out. How you loved our kitchen rug and would always lay on it. How you loved my stuffed little dog, and how you chewed on my alligator's eyes till they almost fell off. I remember how happy you were in the morning when after screaming your lungs out, I picked you up. How you greeted and licked my face. The way you would find something to play with, even if it was a stinky shoe. How you would jump off beds or chairs, and the way you climbed stairs and jumped down the stairs. How fast you could run. One minute we saw you, the next we didn't. How you would dig in my mom's purse, and the way you would take a piece of puppy food and go in the other room to eat it. How you would look up and come in called. How you and Teddy snagged a lot of my shirts. The way you would bite my fingers. How you nibbled and licked my ears. How you would pull and play with my hair. The way you cleaned yourself after going potty. How you liked to hide under my bed, sometimes with Ginger and Teddy. How you would hate to ride in the car crying to let us know. How your bright brown eyes looked at me, so sad and yet so happy. How you loved hamburger and wieners and bologna. And how you would cry for more. And when everybody thought you were uglier than Teddy, I said, you were cute. And then when you got cute, everybody loved you. You were so smart, Tuffy. When you learned how to bark, how you nursed up to the day we gave you up, switching from teat to teat. The way you begged whenever I ate anything. And how you threw up for milk but liked it anyway. And last Friday you lay down with me with your head on my arm. You made me feel better. And someday when I see you again, you probably won't know me. You might bark and maybe even bite, but I won't care. Just so I can see you again, I know I'll never forget you. You'll always be a part of me. I remember how you and Teddy got into my wastebasket and spilled all the garbage. How you would explore things, and the way you shredded Kleenex. How you dug your sharp little teeth into your favorite little toys. And the way you would play with anything or everything, even my glasses. I liked how you tried to jump on my bed. How you snuck hamburger from Teddy's pile, even though you had your own. The way you wouldn't let Teddy. I hope I can see you lots more times. So you'll be just like my dog. I love you. Love me. When I come home from school, Ginger and Teddy are waiting at the door and they're crying. When I pick them up, they lick me and they cry and everything. And I know that if you were here and you were my puppy, when I would come home from school, Ginger, you and Teddy would be there crying. And I'd pick you all three up and I'd hug you. Oh, I wish that. But since you're not here, I think of you when I come home from school. And I pretend you're there. It isn't as good as it would be if you were here. But it's something. Tuffy, when you came on my birthday, you remembered everybody that was there. You remember Ginger, and you remember Teddy, even though Teddy didn't remember you. And you cried. I know you wanted to stay, and I know you were remembering all the good times we had. Tuffy, everybody's been telling me how smart you are, and that you can sit, and you can kiss like Teddy does, and that you don't poop or pee in the house, only on the paper. And you're not like Teddy, because Teddy goes everywhere, anywhere he wants. And you already have a girlfriend. Tuffy, you're so smart. I love you, Tuffy. Bye.